I'm not a sweet person, I'm quite a savoury person, except when it comes to chocolate.
I think you're sweet, darling.
Well, I'm sweet, but when it comes to chocolate, yes, I love it. And this time of year, it's a citrus season in Zakynthos, in Greece. So the oranges are just basically, they're everywhere, they're just falling off the trees. And I love the combination between chocolate and orange. So with those two beautiful ingredients, chocolate and fresh orange from the tree, I decided to make a dark chocolate and orange tart with short crust pastry. So let's get on with the pastry. So plain flour and a pinch of salt, mix it together. I'm gonna do it in the food processor, in the mixer, because it helps me with the timing. But if you have the time, just use your fingertips, put in a big bowl and start mixing the butter with the flour and the salt until you have fine breadcrumbs.
That's the old school time.
The old school
Yeah,
type. But
yeah.
I'm just mixing the flour here with the
Well,
salt.
you can show them a shortcut. I'm sure they'll be pleased to find that out.
We can do that as well.
Yeah.
So, but if you have one of them, it just saves the time, that's all.
Okay.
Cold butter into cubes. That goes in. Make sure your butter is cold. Very important.
This is the cheeks way of making your
It's the quick way. If you were there. So you can see now the consistency. It took like 5 seconds instead of 20 minutes. Well, not 20 minutes, I'm exaggerating.
Yeah.
So this is the consistency we're looking for. And now we're going to add an egg yolk.
Just the yolk.
Just the yolk.
Okay.
And a tablespoon of cold water.
Important. It's got to be cold.
There you go. Maybe another few drops. And give it another whiz. Okay, done in seconds. So make sure it's damp and it holds together. Otherwise, just put a little bit more water. So when it's damp enough.
See, if you're doing it old school, you don't have to do that because you can
would know
tell.
that, yes.
Yeah.
Empty it in a bowl. And start squeezing until you have a solid bowl of pastry.
With cold hands.
As cold as possible.
It's good for the winter. Do you remember when Jeff tried to make it here in the summer?
Oh, he suffered, bless him. So, empty it on the surface. You can see now it's all coming together. It doesn't need a lot of working. You just basically bring it together. Put in cling film, wrap it in the fridge. That's a very important step as well. It has to go in the fridge for about 20 minutes to rest. And while this is resting, we're going to get on with our beautiful orange curd. Okay, I'm going to pare half of the orange, which I'm going to use for decoration. So nice thin strips, and that's going to go on top of the tart. That'll do me. And finally zest the rest of the remaining orange, 2.5 oranges we have, in the pan, in a small pan. So fine zest.
Already the aromas are lovely.
Amazing. Okay, pile the skins one on top of the other and just with a sharp knife cut them as thin as you can. And they're gonna go in the fridge until needed.
That's for the decor, is it?
That's for the decor. Cut your oranges and squeeze them to get all this beautiful juice out. Low fire, as low as possible. You need to take your time now, right? So the curd comes to perfection. And you add into the zest the rest of the ingredients. The orange juice. Smell amazing. Sugar.
I notice you're using brown sugar. Is it better to use brown?
Brown sugar, yeah. And stir until slowly the sugar dissolves. And at the same time we're doing this, we're going to add the butter.
So have you got to wait for the syrup to kind of...
No, we're adding everything in.
No?
Egg
Okay.
yolk. 1 egg yolk goes in.
Okay.
Whole egg will go in.
Right.
And about half a teaspoon of corn flour.
Everything in all together.
Everything all together.
That'll do the job better, won't it?
Absolutely. I've been on it for about 7-8 minutes and it starts now coming up, thickening up nicely. So from time to time, just give it a little stir and wait until it comes to the right consistency, nice and thick. Meanwhile, we're going to turn the oven on, get the pastry out of the fridge and roll it out. Okay?
Yeah.
Just flour your surface a little bit so it doesn't stick. And we already have the right shape, but because it's quite hard, quite stiff crust pastry, what we do is just push it down a little bit to open it up, turn it, and make sure we're just keeping it nice and round. And turn a little bit and roll out. We want it nice and thin, about thickness of a pound coin, as they say.
Do we remember what one of them looks like? We haven't been to England for so long. Okay.
Lift this beauty up, place it into your baking tin.
So you don't oil or grease the baking tin at all? It just
No,
goes in as it is,
as
yeah?
it is, as it
Okay.
is. Push it all in. Press on the sides so we have a lovely finish when it's baked. And with a sharp knife, cut the edge. Take a fork and prick the bottom of the pastry so the steam can escape and stays nice and flat. Take a piece of parchment paper, screw it up. It's easier to work like this, the shape you want, and cover your pastry. And now we need some weight. This is those beans we've been keep baking for months.
Baking beans, yeah.
Baking beans for months.
Yeah, you don't need to spend a fortune on special gadgets or anything.
No, just beans. All we need is a bit of weight.
So,
Spread and bake now for 18 minutes on 200 degrees, 200 Celsius. Now it's time to take the parchment paper and the beans out. As you can see here, this is Diana. We don't waste anything, so
I don't waste anything. No.
she made a small one.
I'm going to have maybe some mushrooms or something savoury in there.
Why not?
There you go.
And we're going back in for another about 10 minutes until brown and crispy. Perfect. Perfect.
Lovely.
So we're gonna put it on a rack here and let it cool down completely in the case, inside the case. Meanwhile, the orange curd is very, very nearly done. It's coming to like a thick custard consistency, which is what we're looking for. You see, it took about 20 minutes plus, but
And the rest,
we're
yeah,
nearly
yeah.
there. It needs patience, you know. Stirring from time to time and patience until we're reaching a thick. Another couple of minutes, I think. Okay, yes. Yeah, well, I'm happy with that. You can see it's thick now. It stays on the spoon. So turn the fire off. I don't have big enough sieve, I'm afraid.
Put it on the shopping list.
So it has been on the shopping list for a while. So while hot, I'm going to put it through the sieve. We don't need any more the orange zest. You can leave it in if you wish, but I want it nice and smooth. So while the pastry and the orange curd are cooling down beautifully, the smell is amazing. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time to do it. Just click the button. Join us, join the taste buddies on this beautiful food journey and tell all your mates.
Okay.
Lovely, completely cool now, beautiful.
Nice little trick.
And now time for this beautiful curd to go in. Back of a spoon, spread it evenly everywhere. Of oil, cover and chill for at least a couple of hours, I would say, until it's nice and cold and set beautifully. And then we're going to do our ganache. Cream goes to the pan. Very low heat again, because we don't want to burn the cream.
Okay.
Empty these beauties in a glass bowl.
Without nicking any.
I have nicked one earlier on. This is 70% cocoa. Beautiful, rich chocolate. And then we're going to make the ganache as soon as this comes to the boiling stage.
Okay.
Okay, you can see now it start bubbling up on the side.
Yeah.
So we're going to turn the fire off. We don't want to cook it anymore. It's hot enough now to melt our chocolate. So what you do is just pour the milk, your cream, into the chocolate and just leave it for 1 minute. Let the heat of the cream to do the job. And now you can see this is all set absolutely beautifully.
Okay.
Lovely and chilled. Okay, empty the ganache evenly. You have to work a little bit quick because don't forget the ganache is quite warm and it's hitting the cold orange curd. Give it a quick even spread. Oh my word. Sprinkle your beautiful zest of orange. You can decorate it if you want with grated, like very fine orange zest. I love to look at it like that because I love orange so much. And that goes back in the fridge now to set completely. Chef's perk, as they say.